KTN.
Now, a new wave of youth-led uprisings is rippling across the globe, shaking governments and redefining power itself. This is no longer about ideology or party lines. It's the raw, furious voice of a betrayed generation. A generation tired of empty promises, of joblessness and corruption. From Kenya's defiant streets to the restless cities of Tanzania, the movement continues to grow louder. What began as a cry for justice in Nairobi has become a continent-wide roar for accountability, now surging across the globe. But as the young rise and demand change, one question lingers. Are governments ready for this bold and relenting generation? Gloria Milimu interrogates.
Across the world, one message rings loud and clear. Gen Zs have refused to be governed the old way. But the real question is, are governments ready for this new and revolutionary generation? Experts say the wave of violent protests sweeping across the globe is the manifestation of a restless generation. A youth that refuses to conform, to be silenced, or to wait for its turn. Raised in the digital age, they wield tools of mobilization and messaging that past generations could only dream of. And perhaps, most powerfully, they are willing to sacrifice their comforts, their safety, even their lives in pursuit of a shared cause. From Kenya to Peru, the youth-led uprisings echo a single cry: enough is enough. Following years of poor governance, inequality and disillusionment. In Kenya, where many say the spark began, youth-led protests over taxes grew into a national movement, a cry for fairness, a stand against excess.
To the people of Kenya, who have said loudly that they want nothing to do with this Finance Bill 2024, I concede.
And now that flame has leaped across borders to Tanzania, where violent demonstrations have erupted in Dar es Salaam, Arusha and Dodoma following a disputed 2025 general election, one in which key opponents of President Samia Suluhu were either jailed or barred from contesting. Human rights groups say at least 500 people have lost their lives.
We call on the security forces to refrain from using unnecessary or disproportionate force, including lethal weapons against protesters.
In Morocco, protests dubbed Gen Z 212 turned deadly, killing 3 people and over 1,000 arrested. Their anger, fueled by weak healthcare systems, soaring unemployment, and a government accused of spending billions on stadiums while neglecting its people. In Madagascar, 22 protesters were gunned down as they demanded the resignation of their president. However, days later, the anger and fury in the streets forced President Andry Rajoelina to flee the country. In Ghana, frustration spilled into the streets as young people demanded relief from the crushing cost of living, joblessness, and illegal mining ravaging their lands. Nepal and Indonesia, the script is the same, as young people there decry corruption and poor governance. And in Peru, young workers marched against pension reforms, unemployment, and systemic graft, their voices rising above the tear gas. Across continents, analysts trace this surge of civic defiance to joblessness and inequality. But it runs deeper. This is a generation disillusioned, yet determined, connected, yet cornered, angry, yet awakened. Their protests are not mere unrest. They are reckoning, shaking even the most entrenched political systems, reminding the world that the youth will no longer be bystanders in their own future. From Africa to Asia to Latin America, the message is unmistakable. A generation has found its voice, and it's not asking politely to be heard. Gloria Milimu, KTN.
Thank you very much.